We often measure our spiritual health by how busy we are, serving in church, attending Bible studies, volunteering. But what if all this activity is actually masking a deeper, more dangerous illness within our Christian walk? You're doing all the right things, checking every box, yet deep down, there's a gnawing emptiness, a sense of spiritual exhaustion, a lack of real joy. You're moving, but not truly alive. This isn't about outright sin. It's far more insidious. The silent killer of our Christian walk is superficiality, a life of religious activity without genuine, intimate connection with Christ. Like a ship sailing without a compass, we drift further from shore, unaware of how far we've gone until the storm hits. Our faith becomes a routine, a habit. Instead of a vibrant, transforming relationship, we prioritize tasks over time. We fill our schedules with good deeds, but leave little room for quiet prayer, heartfelt worship, or simply listening to God's voice in His Word. We forget the first love. Remember Martha, bustling with service, yet missing the presence of Jesus, while her sister Mary chose the better part, simply being at His feet. Our busyness can blind us to His presence. True Christian vitality isn't measured by our output, but by our intimacy with the Father. It's a posture of the heart that seeks Him first, above all else, in every season of life. How do we fight this silent killer? Start by intentionally carving out sacred space in your day. Even 10 to 15 minutes of uninterrupted time with God can be a lifeline, transforming your spirit. In that sacred space, practice listening. It's not just about telling God what you need, but allowing Him to speak into your heart. Read a short scripture, then pause. Let His Spirit guide you. Ask yourself, am I serving out of genuine love for God and others, or out of obligation, expectation, or to earn approval? Authentic connection flows from a pure heart, not a busy calendar. When we prioritize intimacy, our spiritual walk is revitalized. Joy returns, not fleeting happiness, but deep, abiding peace. Strength for service flows from His presence, not our own striving. Your life becomes a wellspring, overflowing with God's grace. Your influence will extend far beyond any activity list, touching lives with authentic faith that radiates from a connected heart. This isn't a one-time fix, but a lifelong journey of drawing closer. There will be seasons of challenge, but remember, His grace is sufficient. He longs for you more than you long for Him. So, pause today. Take a moment to examine your heart. Are you truly connected or just busy? Jesus is calling you not to more work, but to deeper communion. He waits for you. The true measure of our Christian walk isn't how many tasks we complete, but how deeply we know and love the one we serve. May your heart be ever drawn to His intimate presence. Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things in your faith, attending church, reading your Bible, praying, yet there's still a deep, unsettling emptiness, a spiritual void that no amount of religious activity seems to fill? It's a quiet whisper of doubt, a subtle erosion of joy. Even when everything on the surface looks perfectly fine, we keep going through the motions, hoping something will click, but the connection feels distant, almost lost. This isn't about outright rebellion or obvious sin. This is far more insidious. It's the silent killer that slowly suffocates our spiritual vitality, leaving us tired, disengaged, and wondering what the point truly is. What if the enemy isn't external temptations or grand failures, but something deeply embedded in our approach to faith itself? What if we've unknowingly embraced a spiritual habit that keeps us from true intimacy? The silent killer isn't a dramatic fall. It's spiritual apathy, It's the slow drift into complacency, where our relationship with God becomes a routine, a performance, rather than a living, breathing connection. We confuse religious activity with genuine devotion. We believe if we check all the boxes, church, Bible study, service, we've done our part. But God desires our heart, not just our attendance record. Routine without revelation leads to spiritual stagnation. We become like a car running on fumes, appearing to move forward but devoid of true power and purpose. This apathy steals our joy, our passion, our very testimony. The first step to overcoming apathy is acknowledging its presence. It's looking beyond the outward appearance of our faith and honestly asking, am I truly engaged or just going through the motions? It takes intentional effort to rekindle that first love. It means moving past obligation and seeking genuine encounter, listening more than speaking, desiring presence more than answers. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the old habits of complacency try to pull us back, but perseverance in seeking, even when we don't feel it, is where true spiritual muscle is built. When we actively choose to re-engage, something shifts. Our faith transforms from a heavy burden to a light and life-giving relationship. We find joy not in what we times do times for God, but in who He times is times to us. This isn't about striving harder, but surrendering deeper. It's recognizing that grace isn't just for salvation, but for every single day of our walk, freeing us from the pressure of performance. The silent killer of apathy is defeated not by more rules, but by more intimacy. It's found in quiet moments, in heartfelt prayer, in rediscovering the wonder of God's presence in the everyday. This renewed vitality doesn't keep us from the world. It empowers us to live fully within it. Our actions become a natural overflow of a heart connected, rather than a strained effort to impress. Don't let the silent killer of apathy steal your spiritual life. Take a moment today to examine your heart, seek His face, and rediscover the vibrant, living relationship He longs to share with you. Many of us attend church, serve, and pray. Yet deep down, a quiet emptiness persists. We're doing all the right things, but something vital feels missing, a whisper of disconnect inside. It's not outright sin or rebellion, it's more subtle, like a slow fade. The passion that once burned brightly now flickers, barely sustained by habit and expectation. This isn't about God abandoning us. It's about a growing distance we unknowingly create. We mistake activity for intimacy and presence for relationship, leaving our souls parched. So, if we're committed, if we believe, why does this spiritual stagnation creep in? Why do our hearts sometimes feel indifferent? Even when our minds know the truth, we often blame external factors, busyness, distractions, or life's trials. But what if the real culprit lies within, a hidden enemy we've allowed to take root unnoticed? It's not doubt, not even outright sin in the traditional sense. It's far more insidious, lurking in the shadows of our daily routines and comfortable spiritual habits. The silent killer of your Christian walk is spiritual complacency, the comfortable illusion that mere activity equates to genuine spiritual growth and intimacy with Christ. It begins subtly. A prayer said without thought, a Bible read without hunger, a service attended out of obligation. The doing replaces the being, slowly eroding our connection. Routine, while valuable, becomes a cage when it lacks intentionality. We become spiritually numb, mistaking the familiar for the profound, the repetitive for the real. Recognizing complacency is the first, often painful, step. It forces us to confront the gap between who we are called to be and who we have become in our comfortable faith. Breaking free requires more than just trying harder. It demands honest self-examination, a willingness to be uncomfortable, and a renewed hunger for God's presence. This isn't about perfection, but direction. It's about shifting from autopilot to intentional pursuit, from routine duty to passionate devotion once more. True transformation begins when we choose intentionality, scheduling sacred time, not just fitting God in, but prioritizing Him, making space for genuine encounter. It's about moving beyond surface-level prayers and readings to deep, reflective conversations and heartfelt listening. Letting His word penetrate, not just pass through. When we actively fight complacency, our faith comes alive. We experience renewed joy, purpose, and a vibrant connection with Christ that fuels every aspect of our lives. What if I told you the greatest threat to your walk with God isn't sin, or doubt, or even the devil himself? It's something far more subtle, something that feels completely innocent, something you might even call good. It's busyness, the endless rush of activities that slowly pushes God to the margins of our lives. Think about it. When was the last time you sat in complete silence with God? No phone, no music, no distractions. For most of us, it's been days, weeks, maybe even months. We've become too busy to be still. Even our church activities can become a barrier. Serving, studying, attending events, good things that steal from the best thing. Jesus faced the same temptation. The crowds always wanted more. The needs were endless. But he knew what mattered most. Mark 1:35 tells us. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up and went to a solitary place to pray. If the Son of God needed quiet time with the Father, how much more do we need it? Yet we fill every moment with noise. Busyness isn't just a scheduling problem. It's a spiritual problem. It's a heart problem. It's a trust problem. When we're too busy to be still, we're saying something. God, I don't trust you enough to stop, to rest, to listen. But here's the beautiful truth. God isn't asking for your productivity. He's asking for your presence. Psalm 46:10 whispers to our busy hearts, "Be still and know that I am God." Not do more, not try harder, just be still. Starting tomorrow, will you give God the first 15 minutes of your day? No phone, no plans, no distractions, just presence. Because in the silence, in the stillness, you'll find what your soul has been searching for all along, God Himself. Many of us, despite our best efforts in faith, feel a quiet weariness. We attend church, serve diligently, read our Bibles, yet a deep dissatisfaction lingers. What if there's a subtle enemy, hidden in plain sight, draining our spiritual vitality? This isn't about outright sin or obvious rebellion. It's more insidious, a silent erosion of joy and purpose, even as we appear to be doing everything right. We yearn for more, but feel trapped in a cycle of spiritual obligation. Have you ever wondered why your Christian walk, despite all your devotion, sometimes feels like a burden instead of a blessing? Why the passion you once knew seems to have faded, replaced by a sense of duty or even burnout? We often blame external pressures, busy schedules, or even God's perceived distance. But what if the true culprit lies within? What if our very approach to faith, something we believe is good, is subtly undermining our connection to Christ? This silent killer isn't a lack of effort. It's often in times abundance, times of the wrong kind of effort. It masquerades as dedication, but in reality, it keeps us from experiencing the transformative power of God's unmerited favor. The silent killer of your Christian walk is *** spiritual self-sufficiency disguised as performance ***. It's the subtle belief that times your time's strength, * your time's discipline, * your time's good works are what truly sustain your relationship with God. We reduce our faith to a checklist: daily devotionals, church attendance, serving in ministry. We strive to earn God's approval, forgetting that His love is a free gift, not a reward for our spiritual achievements. This performance mentality tells us, you must do more, be better, try harder. It pushes us to compare ourselves to others, leading to either pride or despair, completely missing the heart of the gospel: radical dependence on Christ. So, we keep striving, pushing ourselves to exhaustion, mistakenly believing that our spiritual output directly correlates with God's pleasure. But this only leaves us weary, empty, and disconnected from the very source of life. The burden of spiritual performance is heavy. It whispers lies: you're not good enough, or God is disappointed. It steals our peace, replaces intimacy with obligation, and makes faith feel like a relentless race we can never win. But what if there's another way? A way of profound rest, deep joy, and genuine spiritual vitality that doesn't depend on our striving, but on a simple, radical surrender to God's boundless grace. This shift begins when we truly grasp that our standing with God isn't based on our performance, but on Christ's finished work. We stop trying to earn His love and simply start receiving it, as a child receives a gift. Imagine a life where your worth isn't tied to your spiritual resume, where prayer isn't a task, but a conversation, where serving isn't an obligation, but an overflow of gratitude. This is the freedom found in grace. When we rest in His grace, our doing flows from a place of being with Him. Our actions become expressions of love, not attempts to prove our worth. This is authentic faith, vibrant and sustained by divine power, not human effort. Let go of the heavy burden of performance. Embrace the liberating truth of grace. Start today by simply sitting in His presence, receiving His unconditional love, and letting Him be the strength of your Christian walk. You are enough in Him.